As you know, China has about 20% of the global population, but only 9% of the global arable land. Chinese President Xi Jinping has prioritized agriculture. So my question is, what has China done right for its national food security?
China's success in feeding its under 1.4 billion population is really a miracle. It's also a significant contribution to the whole world in terms of food security. And such experience has become a shining example and for countries seeking to replicate this kind of success. China has given high regards to food security as a top priority for state governance and national stability through rural reform and innovative and agricultural development initiatives, as well as poverty alleviation and rural revitalization programs. Well, the national strategy for food security features self-sufficiency based on domestic grain production, guaranteeing food production capacity and moderate imports, and grain reserve and technological support. Also, China focuses on putting people at the center, enabling safe and dignified access to food and nutrition. Right now, WFP China actively introduces China's experiences in improving food security and nutrition, especially the applicable and innovative approaches to provide ideas and reference for other developing countries.
Chinese President Xi Jinping pointed out that the bottom line of rural revitalization is to build on the poverty alleviation management. What do you think of the Chinese leadership's poverty alleviation management? And have the WFP and China made some innovation in this respect?
Well, China has, of course, a wealth of poverty alleviation experience, such as government-led programs and broad and social and participation and policy innovation, an excellent monitoring and evaluation mechanism, and also an emphasis on science and technology application. All of those can be widely shared with the other developing countries. The success of China's anti-poverty campaign is an important contribution to the global poverty reduction. It also reflects the Chinese leadership's very strong capabilities of organizational execution and effective poverty alleviation management, such as social mobilization and coordination, and resource integration, and policy implementation, and so on. Under the new circumstances, and to carry out some innovative projects in China is one of our very important pillars for our cooperation with China. And we are piloting right now preschool nutrition intervention. The overwhelming majority of the beneficiaries in those pilots are children left behind or from the low-income families or relocated families. We are also piloting smallholder and support initiatives through strengthening their value chain development capacity and also resilience ability.
In the past 4 decades, China advanced from a food aid recipient to an increasingly significant donor to the WFP's global aid program. So to beef up global food security, what can the world learn from the collaboration between WFP and China?
Well, in the past, WFP implemented 70 large-scale grant assistance projects in China, contributing to China's rural and agricultural development. And these projects are quite successful ecologically, economically, and socially, providing good references and examples for other developing countries. In the current context, China is a very valued partner of the World Food Program in tackling hunger and strengthening livelihoods, resilience, and nutrition globally, recognizing China's tremendous achievements in reducing hunger and the importance of sharing experience with other developing countries. WFP China has stepped up its commitment to support South-South and Triangle cooperation since 2016. We promote mutual sharing on food security and nutrition improvement through policy dialogues, technological training, and field demonstrations engaging over 90 countries across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. An online knowledge sharing platform was launched for stakeholders, including those from China, to easily recognize the demands of partner countries and share SDG-focused solutions.
This is the million-dollar question. In 2023, will the global food security crisis end? I mean, in our research, we found that in February this year, heads of the 5 UN organizations made a joint statement addressing the worsening of the food and nutrition crisis in the world. So will it end this year?
Well, actually, this is a very good question, but also very challenging for me. Well, as the World Food Program marks its 6th anniversary this year, and we find ourselves in the midst of the greatest and the most complex food security crisis in modern times. Millions of years of the progress against poverty and hunger are being wiped out.
Right.
The population facing high levels of acute food insecurity has increased for the 4th consecutive year, driven by persistent conflicts, pre-existing and COVID-19 related economic shocks, and also weather extremes. More than 345 million people are now facing a high level of food insecurity, according to the World Food Program analysis, an increase of almost 200 million since early 2020. Of these, 43 million are just one step away from the famine. The current and global food crisis underscores the urgent need to transform the national food systems. And to this end, the coordinated and multilateral efforts across the governments, institutions, the private sector, and also civil society is needed, and to amplify our efforts and mobilize the needed resources to build resilience and ensure sustainable food systems, building on the success stories that can inspire and also accelerate the achievement of a world without hunger.